Let's take a look at iBooks, and our books will load into the bookshelf. At this point, we can organize collections. I'm going to add a new collection. I'm going to call it CS for Computer Science. And now I'd like to move one of my books from the general bookshelf to a different shelf, A Brief History of the Internet. So I've highlighted the book and press move. I want that in my computer science collection. So that has been moved over. We can see all our collections. I can go back to my general collection. And I can edit again if I'd like. You have display features. Right now the icons are displayed. You can also display your books in a list. So let's look at an individual title, and we're going to look at Winnie the Pooh. This has nicely illustrated color pictures, and it's a nice display, I think. You navigate through the book in a similar way that you do with other e-apps, and you can also tap the sides of the page as well as the slide feature. And once again, if you tap the left side, the pages will turn backward. If you tap the right side of the screen, the pages will turn forward. Let's look at some of the basic features of this reader. On the bottom of the screen there is a slider, and if you move that along, you just move forward in the pages, and that will bring you to the page where you've stopped the slider. And of course, move it backwards, and you're going back toward the beginning of the book. Up in the left-hand corner, it says Library. That brings us back to our bookshelf. And when we go back to the book, we'll be brought back to the same page where we had been before we went to the library. And then we can go to the table of contents if we want, read down, and then resume. And we're brought back to the location we were at before we went to the table of contents. Now on the right-hand upper side of the screen, there's a little button, and you can easily adjust the brightness or dimness of your page. So just slide it back and forth. You can see that's pretty easy. In Stanza, we ran our finger down the middle of the page to do that. So this is a little bit different. Now, one feature I really like in the iBooks is the font feature, where you can adjust the size of the font. It's extremely simple. Just tap, tap, tap. It enlarges your font. Tap, tap, tap. And it decreases your font size. If you want to choose a different font, you have quite a few options. Not quite as many as Stanza, but there certainly are enough to please everyone, I think. So let's look at the bookmark feature, which is very simple. And just tap the little bookmark icon in the right-hand corner, and the little red strip comes down. To remove a bookmark, simply tap it. So I'm going to set a bookmark, and then if I go to my table of contents, I will see that this bookmark was set February 13th today. And if I tap that, I'm back to the page that I bookmarked. Very nice. So another feature I'd like to look at is the highlighting feature. And you press down on the spot in the place you want to highlight. You can just highlight one word, or you can use this tool to expand the area of the highlighting. Bring down. So I want to highlight that whole poem. And just hit highlight. And there we go. And another feature I'd like to show you, when that little highlight menu comes up, there are other options. We can add a note. We have this nice little sticky pad that comes up, and you can add a note. It's a little trickier for me to type since I have my iPad propped up for this. And hit return, and there we go. So now I have a note attached. And if I need to edit this, you press until you get this menu, because you have a couple different menus that come up. So we want the remove highlight menu, and we can also bring the second menu up, and we have a dictionary. This is a pretty neat feature that gives the definition of the word. Very handy. That's particularly nice with children too. Another feature I thought was kind of neat in iBooks is if you tap an illustration twice, it will expand a bit and open up in a separate window without the text. So that is handy. And then just put that back where it belongs. I think the notes feature is a little bit easier to use in iBooks than it is in Stanza. It's just easy to find, and it's easy to manipulate and just create the note and paste it in there. And I just want to point out that your highlights and notes will show up under your bookmark tab when you click the icon to go back to tables of contents. So we have bookmarks and highlights and notes. Very nice feature.